A love misplaced. James and Sarah had just welcomed their first child, a beautiful baby girl. Their home, once filled with laughter and love, had become a battlefield of exhaustion and unmet expectations. Sarah, still healing from childbirth, struggled with the demands of motherhood while also trying to keep up with household chores. James, on the other hand, felt neglected. His needs, both physical and emotional, seemed to have faded into the background. "You don't understand, James," Sarah snapped one evening, rocking their fussy newborn in her arms. "I'm exhausted. I barely have time to breathe, let alone cater to your needs." "And what about me?" James countered. "I work all day and come home to a mess. I get that you're tired, but I feel like I don't exist to you anymore." Their arguments became frequent, their patience thin. Every night ended in silence, each feeling unseen by the other. One morning, on his way to work, James saw someone familiar sitting outside a cafe. A woman from his past, Evelyn. She was in her late 40s now, nearly 15 years older than him. But time had been kind to her. They had been good friends once, though life had taken them on different paths. "Evelyn," James approached, a smile breaking through his stress. "James? Oh my, look at you. A married man now, a father," she exclaimed, standing up to hug him. Over coffee, they caught up. Evelyn had been struggling to find stable work after losing her job as a caretaker. She spoke of loneliness, of hardship. James, seeing an opportunity to ease both their burdens, made an offer. "We could use some help at home," he said. "Sarah just had the baby, and we're drowning in chores. If you're open to it, you could stay with us until you find something more permanent." Evelyn hesitated, but eventually agreed. At first, Evelyn's presence was a blessing. She helped with housework, cooked meals, and even soothed the baby when Sarah was too exhausted. The couple found relief, and for a while, their fights lessened. But something unexpected began to unfold. James found himself drawn to Evelyn, not just for the help she provided, but for the way she listened. She made him feel important, heard, and wanted. Evelyn, too, felt something shift. James was younger, full of energy, and despite his troubles, he looked at her with admiration. It had been years since anyone had looked at her that way. One evening, after Sarah had gone to bed early, James and Evelyn sat in the dimly lit kitchen, sipping tea. "You deserve to be happy, James," Evelyn said softly, her hand resting over his. Before either of them could overthink it, the distance between them disappeared. What began as a simple moment of comfort turned into something neither of them had intended. Or maybe something they had secretly wanted all along. Weeks passed, and the affair deepened. James and Evelyn stole moments in hidden corners of the house, exchanging whispers, touches, and promises they knew were wrong. But desire overpowered guilt. Sarah, already feeling a shift in James, grew suspicious. One evening, she walked into the guest room unannounced, and what she saw shattered her. James and Evelyn caught in an embrace. Silence filled the room before it exploded into chaos. Sarah screamed. Evelyn tried to explain, but the betrayal was undeniable. "How could you?" Sarah's voice broke. "After everything we've built? After our child?" James couldn't find words to justify himself. He had fallen, and there was no undoing it. The marriage ended shortly after. James moved out with Evelyn, leaving behind a broken family. Sarah, heartbroken but strong, found solace in her daughter, vowing to rebuild her life without the man who had betrayed her. James, meanwhile, soon realized that what had felt like love was perhaps just an escape. But by the time he understood that, it was far too late to turn back.